So this one's a real pain. You're a broker, or maybe you're dealing in securities, and FINRA BrokerCheck is sitting right there on Google. Obviously, it says something negative. You don't want it there. We work with many clients where this is an issue. Suppressing FINRA BrokerCheck is actually very easy, but the issue is they won't remove it, and expungement's a little bit difficult. You have to go through arbitration. It's a big mess. So what we always recommend is suppress it. Hey, it's there front and center. You work in one of the most interesting industries in the world. You work in finance, and finance tells a story. So tell your own story. Talk about some successes. Talk about projects. Talk about people that you've helped. Obviously, in a lot of the content that we publish for clients, we don't give investment advice, but we can talk about, create a narrative about what you've done that's positive. So that's the biggest thing. If you have FINRA BrokerCheck on the first page of Google, I'd say don't panic. Try to get everything set up. In all these videos we've mentioned, create a personal website. Create a personal website around finance if you're still in that industry. And I've had clients in the past who they were working in finance and they decided to go into law, or they decided to go and branch off into another industry, but that FINRA BrokerCheck is still there. And I know it's really annoying because finance is one of those industries where you could jump into doing a whole bunch of other things. But if that's there and it's sitting there on Google, you can't establish trust as easily. So get on top of it. Create a personal website, create social media, and then just work on building the story. And what I mean by that is open up a document and write about all the successful things you've ever done in your career, because there's probably a bunch. Maybe some successes in finance itself, maybe if you're investing within a certain vertical, if you're working investing into mining or alternative investments or real estate, talk about those industries. Do some thought leadership and then publish that. Publish those pieces on your website. Publish on medium.com. A lot of professionals love to publish on LinkedIn. We have a lot of clients that start publishing on LinkedIn, and it ranks above FINRA BrokerCheck. So that would be my recommendation, not to look at expungement immediately, but to look at what is the story that my career has told, what are the actual specific accomplishments that I have done throughout my career that I can share. Let's write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of those accomplishments, let's write an article about it. Let's tell the story in a video. Let's publish it on social media. And all these things together build a network of positive content. Now, sometimes because FINRA BrokerCheck, it is a powerful website and Google is going to see it as relevant, it might still rank there. Even if you've done a LinkedIn article, even if you have a website, this will certainly push it down because it's not that strong of a link. As long as your website's complete and your article is long form and not just ChatGPT, it should push it down. But if it's still hanging out, maybe on the bottom of the first page or somewhere in the middle of the first page, then what you want to do is take that thought leadership and actually expand it. So if you're going to talk about your approach to alternative investments, for example, I would recommend writing a more detailed and specific long form blog post and then publishing that, not only on your own website, but maybe hiring somebody to publish it on theirs. So guest posting will be a huge part of actually making things better for your online presence. Not only putting this on the regular websites, but looking at authoritative websites. And when we find authoritative websites, we go to websites like Fiverr.com, Freelancer.com. We can easily find people with blogs. This is what we want to look for. But also, if we have any new developments in our career, we can do a press release. We like to use EI and Presswire for our clients. We have a partnership with AB Newswire. And we have a few other press wires that we would recommend where we write something newsworthy, maybe 300 to 500 words, a new development in your professional career. We'll take this and then we'll publish this through the newswire, and it will disseminate to 500 different news sites and blogs. When this happens, it will often immediately overtaking Google, FINRA BrokerCheck. And then we want to rinse and repeat this. Just doing press releases multiple times, as long as you have a bit of SEO knowledge, will suppress FINRA BrokerCheck. So it's really very easy, but it does take a little bit of budget, it takes a little bit of time, it takes not panicking, and also building some of those assets that kind of stay there for a longer period of time, right? We can publish a press release, but it might not be there forever, but our website is. These are things that we want to remember, and we want to be very prolific in our publishing. Now, if you're busy or you're professional and you have FINRA BrokerChecks, hanging out there, and this sounds like, Nader, this is way too much work for me to write all those articles, to build all the websites. That's why we're here to help you. Click the link in the description down below and book a no obligation consultation. We'll talk about FINRA BrokerCheck, we'll take a look at it, and we'll talk about how to suppress it. My name's Nadernejad. If this video helped you, please hit the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.